Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. It's 6:11. Oh, my God. It's 43 degrees. We're getting up to 53 today. It's April 8th, Friday. I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with my own system over here. I'm having systemic problems. Well, just please bear with me. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310, News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app, WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160. Here with Garry Gellman, New Jersey Hall of Fame. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely. So you had a late night last night.
Late night, early morning, a lot of images to the media. It was a lot of fun at the New Jersey Hall of Fame last night.
Gary, where do you live?
I'm based in Ocean County.
Oh, okay,
I don't
good.
like to give the town. I don't like the paparazzi showing up.
Yeah, no, I understand. As I have the same problem. I live in Toms River, by the way, over on Cranmore. If you're interested, just come on by. Anyway, so that's great. So I heard it was a fun time.
It was. The place was packed last night at the convention hall in Asbury Park. The Paramount Theater was where the event was, and some really cool people showed up, including Kool and the Gang, Christy Rampone, four-time Olympian, Dick Vitale, the famous basketball coach and commentator. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of music was going on. Glenn Burtnick was in his band performed. So it was a lot of fun.
So let's talk first. First of all, I have to tell you, as when I pulled up this morning, I pulled up at the same time as Sue from Sean and Sue. Mm-hmm. She was worn out. I don't know what you guys did to them last night, but they were beat. Zach was saying that his dad got home last night and just passed out pretty much in the hallway.
Just collapsed.
Yeah, I mean, it just the amount of excitement and the energy must have just drained all of their superpowers.
It was. The complex there is not that small. So for us, moving around was a lot. I mean, with Sean and Sue, they were getting interviews and talking to people. And,
right.
When individuals are walking the red carpet, you got to think of questions. You got to be prepared. Now, they had been up probably to work their morning show, so it was a long day for them. And I know Sean approached me and said, I don't know, I got to get up in the morning. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay here. But I know, and, they had a drink or two, I'm sure. So, use that.
I find that hard to believe. They're complete consummate professionals. I can't imagine they would ever have a drink. Moving right along. So let's kind of break this down a little bit, okay? So give me the first. How many inductees were there yesterday?
There are about 13 inductees. I can go through them if you choose.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm interested. Like, I heard Kool and the Gang, and right away I was already serenading Zach with "She's Fresh," exciting. She's so inviting to me. Girl.
Highlight of my morning.
Yeah. I everybody loves when I sing because that's when actually Don DeLessio, the general manager here, he usually calls me in the break and says, "Jeremy, we just lost 22 listeners while you were doing that, so singing. Please don't ever do that again." So Kool and the Gang, all right. And then, so Derek Jeter was inducted?
He was inducted, but he wasn't there.
That's
and
all right.
Did not provide a video, which is interesting.
Really?
And I don't want to, and it's not the negative thing. I mean, he was born in Jersey, and he was asked to be in it, and I'm assuming he accepted to be in it. So, yeah, but he was inducted. And, yeah, so actually, Lindsay Berra, I guess Yogi's granddaughter,
right.
Was there not only to give a little Yankee feel there, but also to honor her grandfather who passed away last year. So that was some other celebrity star power. She looked great, and her father looked great as well.
Cool. So, Jeter, who apparently, wants to renounce his Jerseyism, whatever. I mean, that he can't do that. It's like it's in the blood. And so we had Jon Stewart was inducted.
Yeah, so he sends an iPhone video as his acceptance speech.
Right, well, he's Jon Stewart. Yeah.
So the irony is he probably lives closer to Convention Hall than actually anyone in the building.
Yeah. And what's he doing, right? I mean, he's out of the Daily Show.
Yeah.
So what's he got going on?
Well, he's, trying to build those farms. I mean, he's become a farmer now, so maybe that's...
and farmers have to go to sleep early because they have to wake up early. All right. So
he said. So the funny thing is, I don't know. It'll probably be posted on YouTube at some point. So essentially, he took his iPhone in his what looked like a living area, nothing real special, and he's shooting it from. He's actually holding it, I think. And, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then you could see that he personally hit stop. So it's like he didn't even have anyone to take it.
He didn't even have a selfie stick?
He didn't have a selfie stick,
yeah. Come on, man. You know what? Jon Stewart, you could do better than that. All right. Who else? Who else did we have? So Dick Vitale.
Yeah.
Dick Vitale is super cool. That was I think who we all grew up with watching college basketball.
Yeah. No, he was great. I had never met him before, and he had a lot of energy. He talked about his career and how he got into radio, TV. He talked about learning about this new channel called ESPN. I think he said something like he thought it was some sort of disease.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he's been doing that for 37 years or
Yeah,
so. But great guy, a lot of energy.
Yeah. So it's funny because did he mention that he saw me in at the Final Four?
He did not mention that.
He didn't mention that. Oh, all right. Well, I saw him. It's odd that he wouldn't have.
Did you yell out Jersey?
Yeah,
Jersey?
it's odd that he wouldn't have returned the favor and said that he saw Jeremy Grunin, but maybe he doesn't know who I am, which is would put him in the majority. The Dick Vitale thing that's very funny is his coaching career. He's obviously super well known for an unbelievable broadcasting career. His coaching career was less than stellar, though, right? It's a good thing he got into broadcasting.
Well, he talked last night about how he got into broadcasting. They inadvertently had a camera crew at one of the games, and again, I'm not a big basketball guy, but there was some big game, and they brought a camera crew, and lo and behold, he was interviewed, and that was his interview for his radio for being a broadcaster, because the staff there heard him being interviewed, just like you, I guess.
Right.
Excuse me, Jeremy. And lo and behold, that's how he got hired as a broadcaster from an interview he did regarding his coaching.
Okay, cool. So let's see. So who else was there that we would know? So
Frank Lautenberg.
Yeah, Frank Lautenberg.
Well, he wasn't there.
Well, he wasn't. No, that would be difficult. That would have been some trick you would have pulled
We had
off.
some star power with Frank Lautenberg.
Right.
Even though he wasn't there.
And was Joe Piscopo?
Joe Piscopo was the MC. He sang New York, New York. He used a little Jersey flair in there. He's on the air right now in New York somewhere, so he's not listening to us, but Joe was a great guy. He sang, he MC'd. Glenn Bergnick's band played, but let's get back to Lautenberg for a second.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you got me off track.
I apologize. Go back to Lautenberg.
So Lautenberg had some star power. His wife and daughter were there to receive the award, but Cory Booker showed up.
Really? Okay, that's cool.
Without going on the red carpet, he showed up and introduced and talked about Frank Lautenberg. So that was kind of cool.
Okay, that is cool. So Frank Lautenberg was certainly a very well respected politician here, and obviously wouldn't be there because he's passed.
He's passed, yeah.
But that's great.
And he was a corporate executive or ADP. Raised a lot of money for them.
All right, and I know you had some. So we had some famous presenters. We could talk more about Joe Piscopo. There's so many questions I have for you.
Really?
All right, but we have to take a break.
Okay.
Because I don't know, something about paying my salary, blah blah blah. So Garry Gellman, we'll be right back with him. More about the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Super excited.
Everything you need to know about the Jersey Shore. This is Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Now, back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. And you know what? So I'm talking because you know why? There's Zach, you see this? This is supposed to be red when I'm on the air.
I know.
Like I'm not. I can't. Right now, I can't tell because it's clear.
Yeah.
It's like that non-color.
Throws you off a little bit.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I hold you completely responsible.
Thank
The
you.
really not distracting thing will be when it turns red in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah,
like,
you take that awkward pause.
Yeah, now we're on. All right, so we're here with Garry Gellman talking New Jersey Hall of Fame. Okay, so presenting for Frank Lautenberg was former Governor Tom Kean.
Yeah, so he was there. He came in by himself. He didn't bring his son or sons or wife with him. He always goes to a lot of these events by himself. And he was there. He was chatting with Joe Piscopo early on. We took some pictures of him in the cocktail area. But yeah, I guess and I was in the back, so I didn't see a whole lot of stuff that went on in the front because I was in the back as the official photographer.
Right.
So yeah, between him and Cory Booker made an appearance. So it was a fun night.
Very cool. It's very cool. So Cory, and then I see Naughty by Nature presented Kool and the Gang.
Yes.
Now, okay, Zach. Do
Yes.
you know Naughty by Nature?
I know the name.
Okay. Have you ever heard the song OPP?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so that's That's
okay.
Zach is much younger than us, Jeremy.
And they also do hip hop hooray.
Okay.
Ho.
Now I get it.
You got them.
Yeah.
Naughty but they were cool in the 90s. I think that was the 90s. It's all a blur at this point. All right, cool. And so Christy Rampone.
Right. Now, she had her friend induct her from Monmouth University. Actually, the president of Monmouth University was there. Paul Brown was there. So Christy was great. What a career she's had. Local girl. She's supported by so many people. And she even talked about how proud it was that even her hometown embraces her, and she's raising a family, her and her husband. So it was a lot of fun. And then she actually stayed at the Wonder Bar, took pictures with several fans, including yours truly. And it was a lot of fun. She was there with her husband.
Cool. And then let's see. I see Bernard Marcus. So now this is interesting. So the co-founder of Home Depot was inducted.
Yeah, it talked about how he got really angry with the employer that he was working for, decided he was going to open up across the street. So that's how Home Depot was founded, across the street from the company that he formerly worked for. And yeah, he was inducted. He was not there. He did send a really nice video. He talks about how great New Jersey was to him growing up in Newark and going to Southside High, and went to Rutgers.
Right. Okay. So and I'm sure most people don't know that. I mean, so what we get from this is, we are, I think, here in New Jersey at times we suffer from a little bit of an inferiority complex, right? Because we're kind of squeezed in between New York, right, which we obviously hear a lot about, and Philadelphia, and then there's like Jersey in the middle. And so events like this and things like the New Jersey Hall of Fame really, I think, help our own self-image
more than anyone else.
Yeah, because we struggle, right? I mean, you're like Jersey. You didn't quite get to New York. You didn't quite get to Philly. You're in Jersey.
Well, Ben Franklin talked about that many years ago, so this isn't anything new.
Right.
And actually, if you know, he sent his son to be the governor of New Jersey at some point. So even Benjamin Franklin was worried about us.
Yeah, and by the way, Ocean County. And I know you're an Ocean County guy. Ocean County to me is the most schizophrenic. Like if we're saying that New Jersey is kind of like sandwiched here in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we accept that, and basically Ocean County is the middle of the middle, right? Like the best way I could describe it is when I was a kid, and we actually had to stand up to turn the TV channel, right? Like that was I was still in bad shape, by the way. So I would just be like, whatever's on this channel, I'll stick with. So. We had the opportunity to watch both Philadelphia and New York channels here.
Wow, that was a plus. Tom's River, yeah.
Right, because I could watch the Eagles game or the Giant game, right? Because we were like half New York, half Philadelphia. We were even divided in the county, right? So the New Jersey Hall of Fame it's a big deal for us because it's our chance to pump our chests and say, you know what? Thank you, Derek Jeter, for being from New Jersey, even though you don't want to come to our events and you want to probably say you're a New York guy, whatever, right?
Right. You're right.
All right. So Bernard Marcus, and then I also see. Was James Fenimore Cooper inducted posthumously?
He was, yes. Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't there though.
No, he wasn't. I think he sent his. Actually, I think he sent the people who retain his estate or something. I don't know, but I don't think a relative of his.
No,
was
I don't.
there.
And he didn't send a video, right?
He didn't send a video,
no James Fenimore.
No,
Cooper.
his tomb was on the video. Actually.
Oh, that's nice.
They show a video honoring each person, and it was like his tomb.
That's nice. Okay, so when we come back, because we're about to come back, right? I want to talk about like some of the because you're the official photographer here, right?
7 years.
So like I want to talk about, if you don't mind, some of the images that you're the most proud of over the last few years.
Sure.
Like some of the things that you would really like say, listen, that was super cool.
Okay.
Garry Gellman talking New Jersey Hall of Fame. It's 6:30. You're listening to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, and please come back because I need the listeners. I want to keep working here. Be right back.
Coming up next, the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Join the conversation, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. 632, 43 degrees, getting to 53 today, April 8th, 2016. It's Friday. Congratulations. You got to the weekend. Nice job. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. We're talking to Garry Gellman. He is the official photographer slash videographer, right?
Video pro, yep.
Of the New Jersey Hall of Fame. And, of course, you can see all of his work at GellmanImages.com. Look at that little plug for you.
There you go. Thank you.
So what are some of the moments that you're kind of the most that kind of stick out for you over the last 7 years you've been doing it, right?
Well, the most interesting one is when Danny DeVito introduced Bruce Springsteen, and Danny gave a great speech, and Bruce came up. This was 7 years ago. And essentially, Bruce and Danny start singing "Glory Days" at the end. So the end of the event was a song, and so the most significant picture there at that event was when Bruce and Danny were singing, and Danny DeVito is like having a great time with his hair going all over the place, and Bruce is just like playing his guitar, being real serious. And the fun part about that picture is that it was chosen to be on the outside of the Mobile Museum. So when you're driving down Route 287 or the Parkway or the Turnpike and you see the Mobile Museum, which travels throughout the state, you see a big picture of Bruce Springsteen. It's kind of neat to say that the picture that I took is on the outside of a big mobile museum, a big tractor trailer. Other events include when Jack Nicholson yelled at me. So for each year, we have to take a group picture.
Right.
So when with the group picture, you have only about 4 or 5 minutes to get everyone together and get their picture because they have all family and friends there and they want to go network and have a good time. So the year Jack Nicholson yelled at me, Frankie Valli was there. There were many other celebs there. And Jack Nicholson was the last one to sit in his chair. And everyone was waiting. So they were sort of looking at me to get Jack Nicholson over. So I said, Mr. Nicholson, would you mind coming over to take the picture? He stops, he looks, he says, I'll come over there when I'm ready to come over there. He continues talking for about a minute, and then he comes down and takes a picture. And the whole group just laughed. We actually have it on videotape. So that was a fun moment. Or then before Yogi's passing, him and Danny DeVito were out back of the New Jersey Performing Arts Center chatting about their shoes. They had those new clog, those plastic shoes.
Oh, really?
Remember back then, about 6, 7 years? And Danny was saying how comfortable they were, and Yogi's like, yeah,
Crocs.
I think so.
Crocs?
Yeah, Crocs. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, each year brings on new things. Like yesterday with Cory Booker showed up. I'm not going to say late because he may have been there supposedly on the time that he chose, but he's getting his makeup done and he's got his little napkin over his tie so he didn't get his tie all dirty. So a lot of unique moments, especially when we were at NJ Pack and there was a green room where everyone was together. Here at the Paramount Theater, people are more or less spread out, but it's always a lot of fun. You never know what to expect. You know, Kool and the Gang came. They were hanging out forever. Christopher Rampone was wonderful. So it was a great night.
Yeah, so I'm going to, Kool and the Gang, have they toured in, are they doing, where are you seeing them at this point?
Well, they did mention last night that they do about 100 shows a year.
Really?
And if you think about it, any radio station that plays 70s music or disco, we're going to have them as some sort of promotion. But yeah, they mentioned that in the video that they performed. Yeah.
Oh, no, listen, I would definitely have them at my kid's bat mitzvah. I think, Kool and the Gang. It's Kool and the Gang.
But you know what? The Indian from the Village People lives in Asbury Park.
Really?
And you can get him. They tour like crazy, too. The Village People tour like crazy. Can't even get
I'm not going to lie. I kind of think the Village People are a little creepy. It's a little – it's not really – I'm going to pass on that. No, thank you, though.
Well, I guess you don't like the pictures of me and them then.
Listen, actually, it kind of brings back some childhood stuff that I really don't want to talk about on the air.
We know what's cool, hearing the Village People play, perform, sing, YMCA.
Yeah.
And hear them actually do it. You hear it over the years, but then being at an event where you hear them sing YMCA, it's kind of cool. That's how I got a little goosebumps when I heard them about a decade or so ago.
So the question is, in today's society, does the Indian really work? You know what I mean? Like St. John's used to be the Red Men, and now they're the Red Storm. We're kind of morphing away from these.
Well, he's really an Indian.
No, I understand that, but he wears a headdress and the whole thing. Yeah. I get it.
He would come in here if you had time for him.
I know, but they're gonna be like now. It's like well, he's like he used to be the Indian and the Village People because that's when the Village People were super cool and that was a different time.
Right.
But it's like, do you ever watch movies from the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay. And Gary, I don't want to get too personal, but do you have kids?
Of course.
Okay, good. So how old are your kids?
14 to 8.
Perfect. Good. Okay, so have you ever shown your kids one of those movies from the 80s and you're like, you got to see this movie, right? And you put the movie on and you're like, oh my God, I can't, this movie's rated PG, right? Because they didn't have anything else back then.
Right.
And you're watching the movie and you're mortified by some of the things they say in the movie and do in the movie because they're so not politically correct today. And you turn it off. Like,
well, my kids watch Annie. My kids watch Sound of Music.
So go watch, like, in your
Give me
mind.
A movie.
In your mind, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
You're probably thinking,
wouldn't let
like,
my kids watch that.
Well, but you're like, it wasn't so bad. Like, your 14-year-old you would let watch it, right? I mean, but no. Oh well,
my wife. Yeah.
You're
I have all girls.
You're as pure as the driven snow. Then, because I try, and it's embarrassing. I mean, look, I'm not talking about like showgirls. I mean, we're not talking like craziness. But anyway, my point is that I don't know that the Indian from the Village People back then, it would still be okay if the Village People came out today. Somebody would have look. You can't put a sign up on your own lawn supporting a candidate anymore, right? Like, you can't do anything.
Yeah,
you're
right. You're right.
I'm just saying that's
and think about it. I think Manasquan Savings Bank changed their logo because of that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see now, Gary? Now you're smelling what I'm stepping in.
Now
right?
I go, yeah,
cool.
I got it.
All right, so let's take the New Jersey Hall of Fame aside for a second because that's like, I get it. Like, that was a cool event. So you also, but this is not your year-round gig, right? Like, you actually do like a photography and videography business.
Yeah,
right?
we work for a variety of different companies.
All right, so are there any like moments that you're like that any photo shoots, anybody that you've done that's that you're like super proud of, that you're like, wow, that was really cool, or anything that you would be like, really like that like this was a great experience?
Well, when the Pope's plane came into the tarmac in Philadelphia and I was only one of 2 photographers to cover that event, that was kind of cool. So being raised a Catholic, it was kind of cool to see the Holy Father that close within 5 feet I was of him. So I was the official photographer of his arrival to Philadelphia when he came in September. So that's kind of cool.
So Garry Gellman, the official photographer of the Pope?
Pope when he arrived in Philadelphia.
When he arrived. Yeah, but I would put that in very small print.
Yeah.
I think I would just go Garry Gellman, official photographer of the Pope, and then I put it super like microfied, like when he hit the tarmac. All that other stuff's unimportant.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because so many other people are on the tarmac waiting for his arrival, including the CEO of Comcast and the governor of Pennsylvania, and the mayor of Philadelphia, and I was there, and when you're at an event where those people are at, you're like, wow, that's kind of cool, the governor of Pennsylvania. And then the Pope arrives, and it's like, oh, okay, forget about those guys. The Pope is here.
Right.
And then when he went over to bless the boy, if you saw that, it was all over the media. It was a lot of fun having the picture that I took out there throughout the world. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was unique, covering Bruce over the years in a variety of different events and places, having met him and having an interesting story is I covered an event where Bruce's children went to school. And his mom was there, and I started chatting with his mom because I had met her at the New Jersey Hall of Fame. And my wife and I started chatting with her, and all of a sudden she says, did you ever meet my son Bruce? And I'm like, well, we sort of. I'm going to introduce you to my son Bruce. So she pulls Bruce over, Bruce Springsteen, and says, Bruce, this is Gary and his wife Claire. Introduce him, just like a mom would do with like a teenage kid. So he extends his hand, shakes it, and it was really a lot of fun because that was a unique time too.
That's awesome. So let me. I'm sorry. I'm fixated on the Pope for one moment.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
So do you get the Pope to pose? Like, are you like Pope? Give me a jungle look. Like, how do you do that?
Well,
there's nothing.
No, I didn't ask him to pose, nor did I shake his hand. Although I was close enough where I could have, I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. But I have photographed bishops before, and actually, there's a new bishop in the Metuchen diocese that I photographed just like 2 weeks ago. And he was very kind and nice and allowed many hours to photograph him. And those pictures will be released very soon. I've photographed David O'Connell, who's the bishop, who's actually Father Scott's boss, the Bishop of Trenton. So they're all good people.
Listen to me. Father Scott only has one boss, and it's the big guy. I'm just saying, we've talked about this. You know, he's only got one boss.
Okay.
All right, it's not.
Did you know
it's a very clear org structure there.
Did he ever share with you he plays the saxophone?
Father Scott?
Yeah.
We have jam sessions together, me and him sometimes.
He was like the Kenny G of the 70s.
Yeah. I play the ukulele, so we do this thing together. It's really, really strong. I don't want to brag, but it's pretty good.
Is it?
Not
Are you
really.
joking? Did you know he played saxophone?
I did know he played saxophone.
He played at my wedding, too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
You had Father Scott play your wedding?
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of ways we can go with that, too. Garry Gellman, where could folks learn more about what you do every day?
GellmanImages.com is a great place for them to learn about what we do. We're a full-service photography, streaming video, marketing, production company, and we're the official photographers for the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
And the official photographer of the Pope when he lands on the tarmac in Philadelphia. Garry Gellman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We had fun, and you're doing a great job. And GellmanImages.com, back with more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin right after this.
The Sean Hannity Show, this afternoon at 3. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin returns next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.